Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Daria if you're new to my channel, and today's yoga practice is something a little bit different. This class is called Deep Core, and we'll be working on developing core strength throughout the full core, 360 degrees, so front line of the body and the back line as well. This is a great practice to add on to the beginning or the end of another class if you want some extra core strength, or as a standalone practice that you can come back to build your strength over time. So all that you'll need for this class is yourself and some place to move. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll get started today lying down flat on our backs. So find your way there, spin your feet to the top of your mat, and then roll all the way down. Relax the back of your heart and the back of your head, and then begin to float your feet away from the mat so that your shins are parallel with the earth. The feet can be about hips distance apart, and then from here, start to draw your rib cage to close as you drive your belly button down towards your spine. So we're getting rid of the arc in the low back and pressing the low back down into the mat. Now, take your hands to the fronts of your thighs, then press your hands to your thighs as you press your thighs back into your hands. So it might look like nothing, but it should feel like quite a lot of activation and fire into your core right away. And you'll feel more, there will be more intensity, the more that you press on your thighs and the more that you press your thighs back into your hands. Continually draw your front body down toward your back body as if your whole belly is being magnetized toward your spine and toward the earth. Connect with your breath, making sure always to remember to breathe, even through the intensity, especially through the intensity. Press a little bit harder. We'll just stay here for about 10 more seconds. Keep the low back stapled to the earth. One more inhale. And on your exhale, release. Float your feet back down to the mat. Take a moment here just to drop and relax. You can spin your palms up to face the sky. Let all of that go. Good. Then bring your knees back to stack over your hips. Float your feet away from the earth. Shins are parallel with the mat. From here, bring your fingers up toward the sky so that the wrists are stacked over the shoulders. Then begin to float your shoulder blades away from the earth as if your nose is being magnetized toward the sky. So try to keep some space between your chin and your chest, like there's a piece of fruit in between them. Take an inhale, stretch your right fingertips back and point your left toes forward to the top of the mat. Then as you exhale, draw your right fingertips back to the sky, left knee comes in. Switch. Inhale, extend right toes forward, left fingertips back. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, right fingertips back, left toes forward. Exhale, return to center. Drive your low back into the mat. Inhale, left fingertips back, right toes forward. Exhale, back to the midline. Continue switching back and forth from side to side. So we're moving in opposite directions, in opposition. It's the opposite hand and the opposite leg that are reaching forward and back at the same time. Now, as you continue to move, become aware of the hand and the knee that are staying neutral and try to keep them as still as possible, even as you glide your limbs out away from the midline. Take 2 more on each side. Inhaling to reach long. Exhaling to return to center. Last one, each side. Stay with it. You can do it. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And release. Drop your head. Drop your hands. Feet can come to the mat. If it feels good, you can find broken bridge. Lean your knees in on each other and try to just drop everything. Big, full, deep breaths in and out through your nose. Interlace your hands at the back of your head. You can keep your feet rooted to the earth. Take an inhale. Then as you exhale, float your shoulder blades away from the mat, curling in. Then float your feet all the way up to the sky so the legs draw towards straight.
Take an inhale, lift your tailbone slightly away from the earth, like your toes are being pulled toward the sky. Then as you exhale, lift your nose an inch higher. Inhale, lift everything up, and then exhale, lower your sacrum, lower your head all the way down to the mat. So as you inhale, lift your shoulder blades. As you exhale, lift your tailbone, toes lift toward the sky, just a tiny micro movement. Inhale, reach your nose and your toes for the sky, curling into your core, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift your nose, elbows stay wide. Exhale, lift your sacrum, your tailbone away from the earth. Inhale, lift toes and nose. Exhale, lower back down. Just 2 more here. Inhale, lift your nose high to the sky. Exhale, curl your tailbone up, lift your toes. Exhale, elbows stay wide as you float your shoulder blades and your toes higher. Exhale, lower down. 1 more here. Inhale, lift your head, lift your shoulder blades. Exhale, curl your tailbone, lift your toes. Inhale, lift everything higher. And exhale, release all the way back down. Good. Draw your knees in, take your hands behind your hamstrings, and let's rock and roll the length of the spine just a couple of times. Forward and back. Let this feel really good. Massaging your spine. Good. And then at the top of your next roll, cross at your ankles, we'll come forward and lower all the way down to lie on your belly. So you can adjust as needed. Bring your palms next to your ribs. Soften the tops of your feet and your toenails down to the earth. Let's take an inhale and press up into Cobra. So you can use your hands to the mat. Come up any amount, slide your shoulders down your back, draw them together, and then just expand through your front body, stretching out, breathing into all the warmth, all the energy you just created through your core. And exhale, lower back down. 2 more here. Inhale, press down into the tops of your feet. Let your pelvis be heavy. The tops of the thighs can stay rooted to the earth. And then lift up through your heart. Imagine that from your middle back, your thoracic spine, you can press your heart forward. So you can do this by drawing your shoulder blades even more together, like there's a pencil between them that you want to squeeze. And exhale, softly lower your front body back down to the mat. 1 more time here. Inhale, press into your hands, press into your toes, lift your heart. And exhale, soft, lower back down to the mat. From here, stretch your arms all the way forward to the top of your mat. Take an inhale. Soften, melt your hips, your pelvis, your pubic bone down into the earth. Then begin to float your arms and your legs away from the earth all at once, coming into this sort of Superman position. Inhale here to elongate. As you exhale, activate your glutes, hug your inner thighs toward the midline, and then just glide your fingertips all the way back behind you. As you do so, see if you can imagine that you could catch the air with your fingertips, like you're gripping onto something that allows you to traction your heart even higher, lifting into your back body. 1 more inhale. Exhale, release everything back down. Arms go forward to the top of your mat. 2 more here. As you inhale, the hips get heavy, the legs, the arms, the heart get light. Lift everything away from the earth. Take an inhale to elongate. Then exhale, glide your fingertips out to the side, then stretch them all the way to the back of your space. Stretch your toes further back as you reach your heart further forward and lift higher and higher and higher. Good. Exhale, release everything back down. Arms go forward. Inhale, lift your legs, lift the tops of your thighs, lift your arms, lift your heart. Inhale to grow longer. And then exhale, the fingertips circle wide, then stretch to the back. And this time we'll stay and we'll breathe for 3 rounds of breath. Feel your whole back body active. Feel your inner thighs squeeze, the hamstrings engage, the glutes engage. Then curl from your low back to your middle back to your upper back to reach your heart more forward, fingertips more back. 1 more inhale. Good. Exhale, release back down. Bring your hands to stack at the top of your mat, and you can relax your forehead down to the tops of your hands. Then kick your heels in towards your sitting bones and just gently windshield wiper your feet from side to side. And release. Feel your heartbeat and allow your breath to continually elongate, slowing down. Slide your feet back behind you. Plant your palms beside your ribs, and we'll rise up to a tabletop. Hands and knees, stacking the shoulders over the wrists. The hands can be about shoulders distance apart, and then the knees are hips distance apart. Spread your fingers wide, claw down into the mat, and then tuck your toes behind you. Try to tuck all 10 of your toes, and then begin to float your knees like an inch or so away from the mat. Press down through your palms to dome between your shoulder blades. Swallow your belly button up towards your spine and close your ribs. Just breathe. One more full round of breath. Big inhale through your nose. Stay for your exhale. Press into the earth even more. Then softly, super slowly, release your knees back down to the mat. Good. Keep your right toes tucked behind you. Anchor into your left palm. As you inhale, stretch your left toes back behind you, float them away from the earth, and reach your right fingertips forward. Inhale here. Exhale, draw right knee, or right elbow and left knee to touch. Inhale, extend, reach long, stretch away from the midline, but simultaneously hug your left hand and your right knee toward the midline. And then exhale, curl in. 3 more here with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach long, extend. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale, squeeze, hold. Elbow to knee. Can you bring them to touch? For 3, for 2, for 1. Good. Release the right hand and the left knee back to the mat. The left toes can tuck behind you. Take an inhale. Reach your right toes for the back. Stretch your left fingertips forward. Try to keep your hips square by driving your right hip down toward the earth. Inhale. Exhale, curl in. Hug right knee and left elbow to touch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. Last 3 here. Inhale. Exhale, make sure you're breathing. Inhale, claw the mat with right fingertips, extend. Exhale, hug in. Last time. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, hold and squeeze. We'll stay here for 3. For 2, elbow and knee touching. For 1, good. Release all the way back down to tabletop right away. Step your feet back, find high plank, press into the earth. Imagine that there is somebody's hand between your shoulder blades and you're trying to press up into it. So really creating that rounded effect between the shoulder blades through the upper back. Heels float over the balls of your feet, charge your thighs. Let your pelvis be aligned with your shoulders. So notice if you're sinking the pelvis low or if you're reaching it up high to the sky like a down dog, see if you can level it out. We'll stay holding this high plank for about 20 more seconds. If this is feeling easy, if you want a little extra challenge, start to play with floating your left toes back behind you and then maybe reaching your right fingertips forward to the top of your mat and hover here. Feel all the fluctuations of balance. If you're hovering, release right palm and left toes back to the mat and then switch. We have about 10 seconds left wherever you are. Maybe stretch the right toes for the back of your mat, reach the left fingertips forward. Press down more firmly. Hug in through your core, close your ribs. Last 3, 2, 1, good. Release. And go ahead and sink down to your knees. Bring your palms to face up toward the sky. just take a moment here to drop all of that. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth, big sigh. And then take some time here just to feel all of the activation in your body. How in just a short time you were able to spark energy, ignite, activate, create little fires throughout your body to feel more alive and awake. Blink your eyes open if they were closed. And that is all for today's practice. If you'd like, you can continue with more core work. If there's anything else that you'd like to play with, you're always welcome to take Shavasana if you have time. I always encourage that for processing, absorbing all of this information. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do that down below before you go, because that really supports me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a really great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next class. Bye.